Hey, I wholeheartedly believe that when they authorized the transfer from the University of Maryland University College, being the sending institution, to the receiving institution of UMBC, I wholeheartedly believe, for social work. And why repeat? The University of Maryland College Park in 1994 into 5, where the decision would have been made, they were phasing out family and community development. I wanted family and community development. Why they would phase that out? Well, that I have my opinion. Of course, I have an opinion on everything. And why do I have those opinions? It was a gift. Like, why would Marymount College in Tarrytown, New York, why would they shut down? You know that you have all of this influx, and I am not saying that a Catholic Marymount is for Spanish people. Mercy College is predominantly Spanish people, but you have an influx of Spanish people, and they are being raised in the community. Maybe they want to walk up the street and go to college. You never know. But they closed it. Why would they close St. Teresa's? Well, if you watch New York City news, ABC, CBS, or NBC, Channel 4, 2, or 7 in New York, well, you know, Catholic religious institutions, they close schools all the time, and churches. Now, the University of Maryland, College Park, they chose to get rid of family and community and development. And they never, I don't think, to the best of my catalog looking, they never had social work. Also, McKeldin Library will reopen. They expanded, they renovated. I view that as a new beginning. Excuse me, I just had soda. I'm interested in housing. I will go to the McKeldin Library. It just reopened. And similar to the housing HUD, of which I haven't been there yet because this is only 95. I will go to HUD in January of 96 because even though there's 17 people before me in African American migration, nobody took Los Angeles. Well, I haven't done Los Angeles since 1979-80 Watts through the New York Times, where they didn't even tell me the New York Times existed in 1850. Oh, no, that was for UMBC, Alvin O'Kuhn Library. Calligraphy. Oh, and then what happened? Close to the door. It's empty. Oh, I was so concerned. Oh, it was a mess. It's just a mess. Okay, so similar to the HUD library, C is for California, L is for Los Angeles, and then they had a box like this, not with 500 things. We call that information overload. It was basically Johanna von Wagner, Yonkers Sanitation Commission going to Los Angeles Housing Court. Wasn't it Mr. Coffee? You do not want me to give my Los Angeles presentation again. I had that. Oh, listen, that's almost like something else I had to memorize at the same time. A portion of your soul is entwined with mine, a gentle kind of togetherness. And then we did, the ends justify the means. Machiavelli's The Prince. Oh, that's because, really, what is going on here? Don't make me give Los Angeles, because that presentation was ready to go. She was trying to sell the Los Angeles housing people, Mr. Coffee. Is that the Coffee Funeral Parlor in Tarrytown? It's spelled the same. It doesn't really matter at this point. The Octavia Hill Association. So basically, you knew that's what she was coming to California for. Now, I just want her budget itinerary. Oh, I'm not done with Johanna. Oh, haven't even started. Anyway, so now McKeldin Library, because I'm going to get to the point eventually. Ooh, 6 minutes. Oh, I'm such a talker. Yicking. So the same thing, the little box. And not 100 things. And to the best of my recollection, it was President Truman's administration, it was rural housing, and then the back of this little 15-page doohickey, it had a circular graph, and then it had the amount of miles people would have to travel to go to the field office for the applications. I thought that was interesting. Oh, look, Truman jumps for Kennedy. Now, we left Eleanor Roosevelt. Oh, my friend Eleanor. Not really. Eleanor wants the United Nations. I say Eleanor, and I will look at your George Washington University newspaper that they've digitized. So I'm assuming you said something about the League of Nations, Eleanor? I'm assuming you said the League of Nations has been resolved in this matter, and any committee that may be formed with the United Nations has discussed with the League of Nations committee at least 5 times before we split forever. Did you do that? Oh, come on. Don't you think she should? I'm not having a stroke. It's just... Did she do that? I know Eleanor really wanted this thing. I don't know why. I see no good from it. Did they do that? Was the League of Nations... No, it existed someplace. In some form, I think it did. If I'm wrong, I do apologize. But you should find out what happened to them. I mean, if they absolved or dissolved. But really, if I was creating the United Nations, that's what I would have done. Because that makes sense. I'm just saying, you didn't do it, did you? Oh, come on. So, like, it took me years and years to find a tennis wall. Oh, I go to College Park, there's no wall. It's plywood. You can't play on plywood. My Georgetown friend, they're going to the saloon. And then I think it was the electric company of DC. There's a wall and it gets lower. I said, maybe I could play at that high part. How many cars? No, that's not going to work. I can't find a wall. And I said this before. You know where I found the wall? When you go out of Georgetown to go into George Washington area, like there's a path. And if you take that path, there's a wall. And well, at the United Nations, I got lost. And then I saw the Albano oil truck. And then I said, oh, my art teacher and the brother of Lou Albano. I know, Cyndi Lauper and the girls, they want to have fun. Well, Lou Albano was wrestling coach. Not nice guy. Not as bad as the Wizard with the salt in the eyes. Oh, my God. Who watched that? Not a lot of people. I don't know. Whatever. That guy, Vince McMahon. But his father was alive. He was such a quiet boy. I don't know what happened to him. He died. The father? Oh, my God. He got a mouth. It really... Woo! Anyway, yeah, I think they have an oil truck, the Albanos. Fancy that. Anyway, so they had a wall by the United Nations. And I brought my tennis racket one day to go over from the New York Public Library. And who would have thought? I put my driver's license down on the ground and my ball went flying away. And in the time, these people are quick. By the time, they took my license. Then I had to go and get another license. Why would they do that? Yeah, so anyway, that wall, yeah. Oh, and this ELEANOR in the United Nations, that's really... But anyway, if you didn't do that... But you do look stupid if you didn't. Oh, come on now. What do you think this is? Gidget goes to the UN? At least she had surfer legs. You'll need that too, surfer legs. Yeah, you will. All right. So this is from the Kennedy Archive. But I still have to put the numbers on the bottom, you know. You should do that, and I'm going to. So, Morrison, Murphy, Clapp, and Abrams, attorneys at law, the Pennsylvania Building, 13th and Pennsylvania Avenue, Northwest, Washington, 4 D.C. November the 16th, 1960. Ooh, I wasn't born yet. Not even close. The Honorable John F. Kennedy, United States Senate. Washington, D.C. Dear Senator, I thought you might like to have the enclosed set of copies of the advanced text of speeches made by President Truman in the recent campaign. Sincerely yours, Charles S. Murphy. Oh, because ELEANOR, and it even says that the George Washington University digitized ELEANOR Roosevelt newspaper, etc., I'm not endorsing JFK, and she did it at the very end. So who brought JFK over the top? Was it Truman? But I don't think so. I think it was ELEANOR, but I don't know. Because I do know what I read, that Eisenhower told Nixon just let it go. Because I think that race was as close as that Gore and the other guy. Whoever that was. Bush. The Chad, the dimple in the Chad. Oh, but come on. I'm not going to say it because you're just going to not. I'll let it go. Dimple in the Chad. Oh, and I'm not going to go very long, I promise, because... Truman, like bigger than a whistle train. Was that him? He's traveling. The following speech will be delivered by former President of the United States, Harry S. Truman, on Saturday, October the 8th, 1960, in Spencer, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first lecture in my 1960 fall lecture tour. As you may know, I've been making a series of lectures all over the country for the past several years. I like history, and I like to talk about it. I hope that those of you who may have come here expecting to hear a political speech will not be too badly disappointed. The title of this lecture is Modern Agricultural History. The subtitle is You Cannot Trust the Republicans. Oh, I don't know. Glass-Steagall, that was a Democrat. I think it was Roosevelt. Well, I don't know. I mean... Oh no, Carter, he was a Democrat too. Glass-Steagall, balloon payment on the farm mortgages. Yeah, you gotta watch that. Those Russians, maybe they did it on purpose, huh? Maybe. The balloon payment, it was like pretty close. I think it was due. You do the math. History is important because it teaches us how to deal with the problems of the present. It teaches us how to make wise decisions and how to make sensible plans for the future. Yeah, I'm just going to skip. The best thing to do would be to elect a tobacco auctioneer for president. Tobacco auctioneers are the talkingest people I know of, and I'm sure they could out-talk Mr. Khrushchev. If that is all it takes. But it takes more than talk. It takes the strength to back up a policy. And the really foolish people are those who keep trying to cover up the way our strength has been declining when compared to that of the communists. The first thing my mother saw on Baltimore television in color, oh, she had a color TV in Baltimore, not when she came to Tarrytown. We don't have color till I bring it back from college. Sears. It was a great TV. Oh, the tubes went back and forth on the turnpike. Didn't lose a thing. Don't worry, I didn't really want a color TV because when I go to my godmother's house in Nyack, the repairman is there every time I'm there. Do you ever get to watch TV? Just saying. They fixed that problem. Let's go back to our modern agricultural history. Oh, Khrushchev with his boot. Your children will be born into communists. Now just do that with a Russian accent. Your children. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, he seems to give an entire little history. Oh, yes, he does. Yep, there you go. Ooh, maybe I should have looked at all of these before I came on. Maybe, maybe. The record of the Democratic Party, on the other hand, proves that it does work for the farmer. And in so doing, for the benefit of all of us here and our friends abroad, we try and keep trying for your welfare, and our records of success is a good one. This is where he gets to it. I swear to God, it's the end. Candidates, the Democrat candidates are John F. Kennedy and Lyndon B. Johnson. You would really have to go back to a newspaper. Were there like things that said Kennedy Johnson, or did he just say Truman, 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 and then that would have been okay too, I guess. Stand for the support of the Democratic program for agriculture. That would be Kennedy Johnson. With Senator Kennedy in the White House and Lyndon Johnson presiding over the Senate, you can expect a return to sanity in the farm program. You can expect once again to see the American farmer receive a decent return for his work, and you will see American agriculture take its rightful place in the contribution it makes to the establishing of a peaceful and better world for all mankind. It's up to you. Well, what happened there? Now, I have said a house and then many houses. Look at your house. You need a plumber, you need an electrician, you need a bathtub, you need somebody to put the bathtub in. Those are all people that work for unions. And if people are being excluded from unions because they don't have an apprenticeship, then they're going to be out of work at a time when there is nothing but work. Is that a lie? October the 10th, 1960. He's kind of old, and he's gone from, what, Spencer, Iowa? He's in Texarkana, Texas. Yeah, he's happy to be in the part of the country which has had the good judgment to keep Wright, Pattman in the Congress of the United States for 32 years. Wow. Oh, look at this. This will be a surprise to most people because it is so different from the propaganda line that the Republicans have been dinning into your ears day after day. It's just like Alice in Wonderland. He was a mathematician. He wrote that book just to keep his children occupied. Made a little pretty penny. Once again, the last paragraph. We must have leadership which we haven't had for 8 years. We must have leaders that believe in America. We must have leaders that believe America can do all that is required for the people of the United States and the free world. We must have leadership that believes we can move forward and move forward promptly and efficiently. You will get this kind of leadership only when the Democratic Party is in control of the whole government in Washington. And that, my friends, is why it is absolutely necessary for you to get out and work for the election of Senator Kennedy and Senator Johnson for the two highest and most important offices in the world, President and Vice President. And don't forget, they need Wright, Pattman in Congress. Oh, I know. You just don't get it. Or you get it, you don't want to. Oh, come on now. Just shave your head. I had to do it 4 times at least. It'll get better. Oh, it's not easy undoing what was done the first time. That would be the speeches of Harry Truman. I said I was organizing my binders. I said they have to have the little number on the bottom. Oh, computers fail. I take it to the computer store and I said, listen, I'm going to try and tidy things up. And I put them inside of folders. If somebody does a factory reset, people, everything is gone. It goes back to factory reset. Just the way you got it. There's no little folders that you named left that say, and then when you open them, empty, 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 empty. That's okay. Like I said, whatever. You don't bother me. You don't. Truman Harry 1960 campaign. Papers of John F. Kennedy pre-presidential papers. Presidential campaign files 1960. Look, if you don't want to do what needs to be done, that's fine. But that's on you. And even with my book, where I have the ABC, Think, you were required by the federal government to produce X amount of hours that were beneficial to the entire country. If the federal government wanted that to happen again, it would. And if they were to ever do that, you would literally have to admit, what are you going to do? The government told us we had to say nice things because we were manipulating you. Well, you've done it for 35 years now, wholeheartedly. Oh, I don't know. I think Hopkins 24/7 took a lot of balls. But that's on you. At least somebody, I could understand if they used that. I don't have cable. The Wire used it as a backdrop. And I'm not going to go watch the streets of San Francisco I don't care. But if those houses are somehow used as backdrops and somebody gets paid, that's really fucked up. But that's on you, not me. I don't care. jfk camp1960-1051-009. Folder description. It's in your best interest at this time. Because you're not going to get book creator. Book creator is for kids. So if you hit on this, it opens up to the whole page. Now, we don't use American Psychological Association, APA. We were Chicago style. Chicago style is put that sucker in quotes. And where I'm from, the longer the quote, the better. My guy what did they say? Put that there, please, and quote it. You wanted, somewhere within chapter 13 is where I got this. And I have to change it enough that it's not plagiarism. APA. So basically, whatever they put, you put. Because then you didn't say it because you are a nobody. You understand? You're not going to get tenure anywhere at this point. Trust me. History is not what you want to do. That is a rich man's sport. And so is archives. Trust me. This folder contains press releases of the speeches made by President Harry S Truman during the 1960 presidential campaign. Topics include agriculture, defense, foreign policy, nuclear weapons. Ooh, I'm interested in that. He would have had to say Senator Kennedy advised his Congress that they need to build, and forget about Eisenhower. Military-industrial complex concerns. Let's see if Truman said, Kennedy just wanted to give MIT some money. Didn't he, though? Agriculture, defense, foreign policy, nuclear weapons, minimum wage. The role of religion in the campaign, the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, Vice President Richard Nixon, and Congressman Wright Pattman. Well, he did, remember that? Physical description, 111 pages. Not this speech, all of them. Last updated October the 28th, 2023. I'm just going to cut this off very soon. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really serious. Truman should have had a comment on Senator Kennedy and his need to increase defense, which then accelerated Russia to increase defense. And then he had second thoughts, but it was woo! And then I don't see his brother, Robert. He doesn't say brother John, and brother Ted, he don't say it either. Nobody says it. Ooh, that's not good. National Security Council Minutes, 1962, number 507, 22 October 1962. Oh, I just want you to know what I say. You know, I'm going to put it to you this way. I said to a friend, I'm finally going to make a little bit of money at this thing called social work. And she said, no, you're not. She said, change your major to rhetoric. Oh, in my opinion, you know, that's like a big insult to me. I never, ever, and I could if I wanted to, trust me, I am never one to throw a match on oil. No, I wouldn't. Rhetoric. You see how I fix things? These are the speeches, Truman. Oh, I know. Isn't it such a shame? In 1984, if the University of Maryland had taught me how to, they're floppies at that time, we wouldn't have this problem. Oh, but they so enjoyed come on. My beautiful Jaguar luggage, only bought to go to California, my first trip on an airplane, San Francisco. I worked at the Grand Union. I worked at the diner, Starlight Coach Diner in Elmsford, New York, across from the El Dorado that still exists, but Starlight is gone. Our uniforms were red and black. Oh, I'm going to tell you the truth. They only created that little miniature milk because of me. Oh, please. Now, these construction workers, I'd like it light and sweet. What do you mean? Like, what is light? Light to you, and light to you, and sweet. And in the end, what happens? The construction worker controls the light and the sweet. But tip me, please. I need to go to California. I went. I did. Oh, this waitress. My kids, they're sick. I need cough medicine. I couldn't take it. I said to her, I've done my budget. I said, when I make enough each day to what I need to make for this airplane ticket and spending money, I will give you my tables. Okay. No more with your financial problems. Anyway, the Jaguar bag will come to campus. Oh, they love that day. I was afraid I was going to lose all of my primary sources. And I stuck it in the elevator, and they've got everything on a little disc in their pocket. It's all right. I don't care. Because I think what I just said about that League of Nations and the United Nations, and at least the first 5 was a negotiation between the two. And then you say, there's our differences. You're not going to work on it, and we will. That's all right. I'm sure you didn't do it that way. But if you did, I apologize. That's not rhetoric. No, it's not. Eleanor Roosevelt supports JFK. Oh, I know. You want to apologize? No, politics is a dirty business, isn't it? Excuse me. When I entered kindergarten, nobody told me that, what's your name? Rockefeller is going to move in and become vice president because of corruption. When it happens, I don't even know about it. Trust me. No, I don't. What I know is, when it happens, Farrah Fawcett is coming to the estate. Sometimes Gannett is as good as page 6 of the New York Post. She's flying in. Now I add this. Was that for Henry or the boys? Could you imagine? My name, where's Farrah? Oh, Farrah, come here, come here. Oh, come on now. Just leave it alone. Just let it go. I know, you're troublemakers. You can't crack a good joke if you wanted to. Let's talk about this Mediterranean diet. Really, the Mediterranean diet. I'm Greek, I'm Mediterranean, I eat kale. So this Mediterranean diet, does the doctor say no baklava? Just the Mediterranean, no Greek desserts. This folder, it's JFK, POF, 032-006. And I suggest you start putting lines in your zeros, because those O's and those zeros are becoming very hard for my old eyes to distinguish. You better put those lines in there. Just as easily, JFK Archives used to have a search within feature. It was great. Search within, 7 pages pop up from 7,000, and I had them on Twitter. Disappeared. That's fine, I don't care. Evelyn Lincoln between former First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt and then Senator John F. Kennedy. Materials mainly consist of Mrs. Roosevelt's view and advice on the political affairs, political correspondence. Topics primarily relate to the 1960 presidential campaign. Of note is an exchange between Mrs. Roosevelt and Senator Kennedy concerning a remark Mrs. Roosevelt made on the television show College News Conference about Joseph P. Kennedy financial and political support of his son. Correspondence between economist John Kenneth Galbraith and Mrs. Roosevelt, and letters from Mrs. Roosevelt's son, John A. Roosevelt, and grandson, Curtis Roosevelt, to Senator Kennedy, and are also included. Now, as I said, you chose to do what you chose to do concerning that transfer. You refuse in any documentation to use the technical legal words. So when you look at these people, did they ever use the legal educational law terms? No, they did not. So don't. We are separated. Do not send me emails. Join our police and community, 70 credits transferable. You expelled me for a book that should be given to the FBI students of criminal justice. You don't bother me anymore. You stopped bothering me by 91, didn't you? Now, your speech class, we will go to the hat. We will pick out a person, impromptu speech. Dan Quayle. Oh, you got to think quick. He may not know how to spell potato. Harryman Averill. The Marshall Plan has been declassified for at least 6 years now. Oral history. Did they ask him about the Marshall Plan? In this interview, Harriman discusses early interactions with JFK from 45 to 56, 56 to 60 Democratic National Conventions, helping get JFK the votes from New York State for the presidential nomination, traveling to Africa in 1960, and the problems within the Department of State's work there, meeting with JFK and discussing various presidential appointments between JFK's election and inauguration, and the religious demographics in New York State and how they impacted JFK's 1960 victory, among other issues. And tomorrow, because I don't think it's back here. George Washington, Eleanor Roosevelt Project. I spent an awful lot of time in that area. Whatever happened a couple of months back with whatever issues, I'm just saying, that was not the position of those people, even when they were like 20 years younger or 30. But people change. I'm assuming you need the money. Taxes going higher. You could have controlled that, but you chose to. And now he's getting you, and you're just, woo! Whatever he says is what I am. That's really pathetic. It is. Look at all of these blue links. Eleanor Roosevelt, John Kennedy, and the election of 1960. Recommended citation, Eleanor Roosevelt, John Kennedy, and the election of 1960, a project of the Eleanor Roosevelt papers. So this, with my Truman, works out perfect, don't you think? Oh, it does. I know. You all are so hell-bent on, you want to say something intelligent? You can say whatever you want. I don't care. But I think from like 1960, when Truman starts trumping, stumping, oh, come on. Eleanor doesn't know Truman? Aids to reading the documents of Eleanor. Eleanor Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, in the election of 1960. Eleanor Roosevelt did not initially support John Kennedy. So basically, if you are only going to trust other people, then I suggest you start going there. You are allowing people to do what on national television? You do understand, Roku, that's disgusting. And any woman, that's how you want to make your money, and you call yourselves mothers? That's like low. And, I don't mean to say anything, but okay, earlier I should have added that your great society, what it did for the farmer, cheese, yellow cheese, milk, breakfast programs, pigs. You understand? That's the farmer. The farmer profited from the Great Society. The farmer profits from welfare. You better start talking that way because you're confusing people. And now you're just going to confuse everybody because they never spoke that way. You don't think that way, and then they're making fun of you because you don't think that way. Well, let me tell you something. When Dr. Nelson said, "Give me the tonic, bring it down," if it just, a house has this many things inside of it. Each of those things requires a union person or somebody with a license. I know some of you do things, but, really, you shouldn't. Fires can happen. Eleanor Roosevelt did not initially support John Kennedy's quest for the presidency. Kennedy's victory at the 1960 Democratic Convention did little to change her mind. Yet the candidate knew that her support was a key to his victory. There is no reason that you people should not have had this discussion comparing Eleanor Roosevelt to Truman. Now, you stifled me and destroyed my reputation and my credibility. You took a 7 a.m. person in a supermarket. You took this, I am working New Year's morning. And I don't care because that's double time. I am the last union contract double time on Sundays and holidays. You took a union person and destroyed their credibility. You took a non-union person who came to that state of Maryland and knew better. I made 550.11 on a Sunday to come back to 4 with 18 days consecutive, no break in pay period, no overtime. Or a break in the pay period, no overtime. Waited X amount of years for the vestment, $1,700. I don't know how that got there. The $1,700 to go into the other account, $50 matching benefit from California, 401k, $16,000. The federal government changes the 401k laws. I can borrow for education. I borrow from my 401k. I pay for my tuition, pay that back because I'm paying myself back. And he is conducting a secret, not even the Star Chamber. It's not a secret. The professors know. There is a letter. So when I called Dr. Marjolina Kars, she should have said, there's an ethno-violence study and I can't help you. It's been my experience in my Dutch accent. I do not involve myself in problems between students and other faculty. Well, here, I've just given you like $1 million idea. Why don't you start on that? You understand? Truly, because you look stupid on TV, every last one of you. But really, the only way to correct this is to send in your German, your French, your Spanish, your other stockholders. You understand? And just let them save America because you fucked it up. There's no talking to you. The United Nations is in your backyard. There is no news segment that says, today in Albany, New York. There never was. There is no local sports. Today in Brooklyn. Never was. Today, Brooklyn played the Bronx. There never was. Each folder is just like this one. You have a good night. I'm going to go watch Knots Landing. Oh my God, do you know what happened? It's 1983. Okay, by 1984, September, I don't know when she gets this red 250 SL, but my roommate, you know, the one that never said her grandfather was like citizenship and something DC, I helped the people get elected, I don't know. He picks them, I don't know. She wants that car. She wants it. I want to know how Abby got it. The other day there was a light blue one, and I think it was a Mercedes. That light blue was like the Alpine today, but that Alpine used to be a brown box because I used to eat Alpine. Oh, you are not going to find processed food in my body till college. Sorry. Carmen Marinin, Ice Castles. We saw the movie at her house. She is insistent on this spaghetti and meatballs in a can. Chef Boyardee, I say no, my grandmother is never going to put that in the carriage, and she won't let go of it. No, you're not going to get that stuff in me. And now you see you have a guy there who's related to this guy. At least he says, because she's an Irish adopted Puerto Rican. That's it. Oh, I know everybody. Trust me, everybody. Oh boy. Oh, Carmen. Oh my God. Lose Lice Girl and get Carmen. There's a couch. Oh, there's a couch in my garage. I want to borrow your couch. For what? John and I want to use that couch to make out. And if I charged her, would I have gotten in trouble? I didn't, but I didn't let them use it. But I could have, right? Oh, that's how you be an American. And then you know what happens? You get to be like the lady who actually Kinko's, where we don't take politics, discuss politics, take political campaign checks because they bounce. And I walk into Kinko's and there she is. My God.